Welcome everyone to this GFN 5. My name is Neubert. I'm a manager for scientific and medical affairs at Philip Morris, Germany. And I'm happy to share our results from 4 years of empirical research on the barriers to stop smoking in Germany. Before I go into detail, there are a few points that I would like to make. The best way to reduce health risk associated to smoking is always to stop using tobacco and nicotine products altogether. Although smoke-free products are potentially less harmful consumption alternatives, they are no smoking cessation tools. E-cigarettes and heated tobacco products still contain nicotine, which is addictive, and they are not free of harmful substances and risks. With that out of the way, here's a little background on the situation in Germany. In Germany, we suffer around 127,000 deaths from smoking. Around 30% of the population smokes. On the other hand, we only have few serious quit attempts in the German smoking population. So despite the knowledge that smoking is bad for your health, people continue to do so with limited intention to quit. We wanted to know what impedes these people, where are we at this point, and what could be motivators to change, and what is the role of smoke-free alternatives. Just to give you an overview of the population that we surveyed, we had two groups, one of people who smoke and one users of e-cigarettes and heated tobacco product users, which I from now on will call SFP users. All people that were surveyed here are adult smokers aged 19 and above living in Germany. And while the population of the people who smoke that we surveyed is representative with respect to age, gender, and state, the group of users of e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products are not representative. So we first wanted to assess the motivation to stop smoking among the people who smoke and provided an 8-item scale, which basically translates into 3 categories. So the first one is no motivation to quit smoking, a low motivation to quit smoking, and a motivation to quit. And now I will show you the results from 4 years of recent 4 years. In 2021, only 53% showed no motivation to quit. In 2022, it was 51%, and in 2023, 55%, and the most recent results, 2024, 52%, no motivation to quit smoking. So seeing this low motivation, we were interested to know what kind of barriers the smokers perceive when they think about stop smoking. We ask our sample closed questions and open questions also to probe for barriers which we have not thought of. I now only show you the results of the closed question. So the barrier most smokers mentioned was I enjoy smoking. And this is persistent over the past 4 years with being the #1 barrier among people who smoke. The #2 barrier, which has been also the same, is it is difficult to break habits and rituals. And the #3, I lack the discipline. And last, only 14% think that supportive offers and products are too expensive. This barrier is noteworthy because it's often cited as the biggest barrier to stop smoking in Germany. Given the aforementioned barriers, the question rises, why don't more people switch to SFPs, also given their potential in harm reduction? The perception of health risks of SFPs might play a role, and so we asked people who smoke and users of SFPs to give an estimate of the health risks relative to cigarettes, whether they think they are lower, the same, or higher. In the last 3 years, misperceptions have increased over time. SFPs are increasingly perceived as equally harmful or more harmful to cigarettes by both people who smoke and users of SFPs. This trend is particularly worrisome, for this could cement smoking. To sum up and to conclude, we see the motivation among the people who smoke is low, and the most cited barrier is I enjoy smoking. In both groups, the users of SFPs and the people who smoke, we see an increase in misperceptions of the relative health risks. To stop smoking is always the best option, but the sole appeal to quit does not address the barriers and the reality of many smokers. Given the persistent and increasing misperceptions and also taken into account the motivations and barriers, additional measures are needed to curb the high smoking prevalence in Germany. If you want to learn more, you can now access the results from our study, which has been published on Koreas as a peer-reviewed publication. You can scan the QR code and get directly to the publication. Thank you for your attention.